And that means, if that means hiding sex abuse of children. And I think an important point is that this isn't something in the past. This isn't something of the past. This is going on every day throughout the UK. And it is not haphazard, as you might imagine, with migrants or illegals. This is a sophisticated, coordinated, and controlled network transferring young girls up and down the country to be.
So here we go. We're back on the Katie Hopkins official channel. She is being interviewed by OAN. What is that? One American Network? I can't remember. But in any case, you know, the people, of course, in America, well, of course, let me back up. They're talking about this huge grooming gang scandal in the UK, which has re-erupted thanks to Elon Musk shedding light on it. The establishment in the UK, the politicians, the media, they're very angry about Elon Musk doing this. They see this as interference in their business, and you know, it's all been taken care of, which, as Katie Hopkins is going to tell us, is absolutely not true. It has not been taken care of. Some of the criminals have been, yes, some of the criminals have been tried and convicted. But as far as I know, none of the politicians, none of the police, none of the local council staff have been who helped cover this up have been held accountable, as far as I know. You know, they've had a few inquiries, but yeah, what has happened? You know, it's one of these things that they take years to produce to run the inquiry. Then they produce some 400-page report with some action that should be taken, and then the action doesn't get taken. And again, this has nothing to do with which party is in power in the UK. The Conservatives were in power for the last 14 years, and Labour just recently took power. So, although this, you know, it's nothing to do with that. It's just the establishment, the corrupt media protecting themselves and protecting political correctness and not wishing to inflame the sensibilities of minority communities. But in doing so, they sacrifice thousands of, English girls, basically. It's sickening. So let's get into it and see what OANN has to say in response to, Katie Hopkins.
See you again.
Oh, it's so lovely to see you doing so brilliantly. And I think you did a really, really nice job there of summarising what is a horrific situation here in the UK that's been going on, as you say. I've been calling it for, since 2015. So it's very uplifting to see the daylight get to this story now.
It's stunning that it took this long for the world to catch up, but it took Elon Musk, one man, really putting more light and more of an uncensored discourse, launching all of that for this whole discussion to get back onto the surface. And what stuns me, Katie, is when I looked back on the Daily Mirror's coverage of this, they were ostensibly the ones who broke the long-term investigation back in, several years ago, back in 2018. And when you look at their updated stories, they're defending the government. What's going on there?
Yeah, so there's a few things that are similar with America and a few things that are helpful to explain. And first up is that Elon Musk has absolutely, for me, it's as if we've been in a concrete bunker, with concrete over our heads. And Elon has just come in with some serious grenades, and he has blown the roof off the thing. And I don't care whether you love him or hate him, he has blown everything wide apart. When I was eviscerated for 5 years from my country, and so grateful to America for allowing me to walk its roads and speak in places still when I couldn't come home, I was banned from then Twitter. And it was Elon Musk that personally brought me and Tommy Robinson back on the same day, on Guy Fawkes Day, actually, here in the UK. But what's important to differentiate with America, and I appreciate your issue with illegals. I've spent time on your southern border. I understand. However, here it is a particular Islamic problem that we have. And Muslim voters vote according to their religion. And Muslim voters vote Labour. They vote Keir Starmer. And the Daily Mirror is a left-wing paper. So they will conceal it, they will hide it, because Keir Starmer wants their votes, the Daily Mirror wants the audience, and that's why everybody keeps their heads down, because they want to kind of play up to the voters that are effectively what would be Democrat voters in your country.
So that makes sense, because looking at it from the U.S. side, it was baffling to see that the very network or the very publication that broke this story and really got people to pay attention to it, even if they were a tabloid paper, they end up backpedaling and defending Keir Starmer. Now, under Keir Starmer, we have someone, the Labour Home Office Minister is Jess Phillips. She's been in the news also under a spotlight. Reportedly, Jess Phillips has denied repeated requests to lead a public inquiry into the kind of child sex exploitation that is being discussed here, and the abuse and trafficking of girls as young as 11 by gangs of Pakistani migrants. She says these are local matters, does not require government intervention.
Yeah, exactly.
How does she get away with saying that?
She's a safeguarding minister. She's supposed to be there for women. But Jess Phillips requires the Muslim vote in order to keep her seat. It's very much like Ilhan Omar playing up to her crowd. And so she will do anything to protect those Muslim men, majority Pakistani Muslim men. And that means, if that means hiding sex abuse of children. And I think an important point is that this isn't something in the past. This isn't something of the past. This is going on every day throughout the UK. And it is not haphazard, as you might imagine, with migrants or illegals. This is a sophisticated, coordinated, and controlled network transferring young girls up and down the country to be exploited. And I think, back in 2015, when I called this stuff out, I was threatened then with arrest and imprisonment. Now, under Keir Starmer, I would certainly be in prison with my friend Tommy Robinson. And to your first point in your package there that you mentioned about the difference in law, the two jihadis who came to behead me about 6 years ago, one of them has just been released from prison early before serving their time. They've been set free. So whilst we have Tommy Robinson languishing in solitary confinement for fighting the good fight, we have jihadis who came to behead me free on the streets. It is truly a crazy time. And if I may just say, and I'll be quiet then, I just wanted to say, it's going to set me off, but thank you to the American people for tirelessly campaigning and their determination to vote for Donald J. Trump. I cannot tell you what you have brought to the UK. You have brought hope, you have brought optimism, and you truly are the shining light on the hill. And I really wanted to just pass that message in person.
Katie, we have so much respect for what you have done over the years. People have dismissed, they dismiss voices like yours as these radical voices, but you were just ahead of your time, and what you were saying back then was not resonating with so many people because they thought, well, the government says it's not happening, so it may not really be happening, but there's so much. We have a lot of respect for what you have done, and you're tirelessly standing up to all of this. And not to dismiss or diminish not to diminish the censorship and the persecution that some voices have on the United States side, but talk about the kind of censorship that you've had to undergo and the kind of literal death threats you've gone through. Jihadis who are out to get you is no joke. I would much rather face an Antifa person than a jihadi, but you have exhibited a lot of bravery standing up to this. Another scuffle that is happening, and I wanted your take on this, is...
Yeah, Katie Hopkins is absolutely very courageous woman. And she's been, as this woman said, tirelessly working to expose the rot at the heart of the British establishment, the British media for many, many years now. And she has suffered for her work. She has absolutely suffered for her work. So I don't even know where she's actually based now. Does she live in the States? Does she live in the UK? I thought she was back in the UK, but yeah, I think she must be because she mentioned this jihadi that got out. So yeah, is in danger. She has put herself in danger. She's put herself in harm's way. She's shown more balls than virtually everybody, and she's right that regardless of what you think about Elon Musk, he, because of what he did, yeah, like a bull in a china shop, dropped a couple of grenades on the British establishment with a few tweets, and now everybody is talking about this scandal. As well they should. And former establishment hacks like Piers Morgan, who I've done several videos on, he of course, as usual, he's kind of getting out in front of it and saying, yeah, it's terrible, but Tommy Robbins, the guy who really blew the lid off this, he's a scumbag. So I don't want to shoot the messenger, but here, I'm going to shoot the messenger anyway. It's like, and he was shooting the messenger many, many years ago when he was actually part of the mainstream media. He's not anymore. He's on YouTube, but he has a huge following. So the whole thing is just outrageous. But, we need the sunlight on it, and then we got to have not only the hard conversations, the kind where people are going to get upset, and then the hard actions. Because just talking about it's not good enough. You got to do something about it. So let's listen to a little bit more, see where they go.
Elon Musk coming out and making a statement that the Reform Party needs a different kind of leader, someone who is not Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage, of course, is a huge Trump ally, very popular here in the United States and overseas. And for Musk, who is Trump's closest advisor, for him to come out and say that Nigel Farage is not the right guy to lead the Reform Party, that's stunning. And I wanted your reaction to Nigel Farage's response to it. It's clearly a blow. Watch this.
He's tweeting about everything. He's tweeting about farming. He's tweeting about Keir Starmer's competence. He's tweeting about Tommy Robinson. He's tweeting about me, Reform UK. He has a whole range of opinions, some of which I agree with very strongly, and others of which I'm more reticent about.
I know you know all the players involved here. What's happening, and how is this split going to play out?
Yeah, it's actually it's about three characters. It's Elon Musk, who, for me has been so fantastic at just bringing light and air into conversations, whether we agree or disagree. It doesn't matter to me. Let's get everything in the open. Then you have Nigel Farage, who is very, very concerned with taking full control, having full power to himself. He would not enjoy being told anything by Elon Musk, actually, though he would enjoy his $100 million, I'm sure. And then you have Tommy Robinson. Now, Elon, because he is an American in the sense of he understands justice, you guys are brought up knowing about the Supreme Court. So Elon Musk can see the injustice faced by Tommy Robinson. But Nigel Farage does not want Tommy Robinson anywhere near him. He puts Tommy exactly in that camp that you spoke about, far right, former EDL. Right. Nigel wants to distance himself. And what we need to do here is we all need to work together.
Well, there we go. Yeah, Tommy Robinson in the UK, as far as I know, and judging by your comments, but I knew that anyway because I've been following Tommy Robinson for many years, is more or less radioactive in the UK in political terms. No mainstream political party would want to have anything to do with Tommy Robinson. Now, I'm not saying I agree with that, but on the other hand, in a sense, it's a good thing because that means maybe there's room for a non-mainstream political party to arise and to then ally itself, maybe not directly with Tommy Robinson, but at least to follow his, to take the viewpoint of people like Tommy seriously, to take the viewpoints of people like Katie Hopkins seriously. Nigel Farage, on the other hand, is a career politician. Yeah, he's been through many political iterations. A very intelligent guy, very well spoken. you know, sort of a thorn in the, no, is he a thorn in the side? Not exactly a thorn in the side. I mean, he was very happy when he used to be a member of the European Parliament, as I recall. And there's a great speech of him just lambasting the other members of the European Parliament, saying, I very much look forward to the day when the European Parliament no longer exists. You can find that video on YouTube. It's really funny. He's just saying it to their faces. And they're all looking kind of nonplussed. But so he's, in any case, though, he's a politician. So for him, Tommy Robinson's completely radioactive, and joining forces is just not an option for him. I understand that. And his party, Reform UK, which is a new party, I don't know anything about it, but it's obviously meant to be an outsider party, and we're going to shake up the system, I guess, and get rid of these Tories and Labour. You know, we're going to, you know, drain the swamp, basically, I guess. It's that sort of party. But we know how that works. Trump didn't do much swamp draining in his first term. And frankly, I don't know if he's going to be doing much in his second term either. In any case, it's all very interesting. It's all very tragic that this has to happen. But it does have to happen. And yeah, as I said earlier, hard talks and hard action needs to be taken. So let me know what you think about all this. Feel free to write comments if you agree or disagree with anything, or to give me more information. I'm always happy to learn. And in the meantime, like and subscribe really helps me grow the channel and continue making content for you.